greatness in a set. Watch me bubble. I'm the fly. Marvelously magnificent. Excellent. Greatness in a set. Watch me bubble.
So it's your boy SKANDOUZ, the hip hop original, and I'm here. This is season 3, episode number 3, and I'm joined by, some might say, one of the all-time greats when it comes to this DJ thing in this country. I'll happily go on record and saying the best living UK hip hop DJ. I doubt anybody's really gonna come and argue about it. You know, this man, one of my DJ heroes, you know, someone that we've been trying to get our hands on for many a year now, but we're finally here. And, you know, without further ado, it's definitely an honor to have this opportunity to speak to the legendary, the one and only DJ Shortee Blitz. How you doing, sir?
Yo, that was a great intro. I like that. That was wow. You put it on me though. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm kind of blown back by it still. But yeah.
I know, but you carry it well, man. You carry it well.
Well,
you know?
Man, I try. I try, bro. You know what I mean? I think for this DJ thing, I take it very seriously, and you know, it's not about what you play; it's about how you play it. For me, and what you bring, what your flavor is. You know what I mean? And hopefully, I've done that since the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm learning on the job, so you know.
Yeah. And for real, man. And the first question we usually jump into with our head-to-head series is DJ Shortee Blitz. How did you find your way into hip hop?
Always been a fan. Since it first landed over here, to be honest. So rapping is like I'm aging myself still. Hearing that for the first time, it sounded different than anything else ever. And obviously, my older uncles, which were like my older brothers, the three of them, they all brought music into the house, and it was all types of music as well, though. But so they were into everything. So it was obviously early reggae. There was obviously one of them was a mod back in the day. Was into all that kind of stuff. So, you know, my love for the specials and the jam came from that. And, do you know what I mean? Anything reggae, like Dennis Brown, you know, anything reggae, jazz as well, was all through these guys. And, you know, I loved my hip hop from when I first heard it, and from being around school, first time hearing Run DMC, first time hearing NWA even, first time hearing Public Enemy and things like that. First time hearing Demon Voice and Lambda Fuzzy as well. I remember exactly where I was at those times. And it wasn't even a thing where I aimed to be a DJ, but the format for collecting music was record and tape. And, you know, after a few years of having paper rounds and using that money through lunch money at school, to saving up so at the weekend you can go to Arcade Records and Nottingham to go buy some music. That's kind of how I fell into it, because that was never the plan. It was never the plan, because I never had the equipment. It was just a thing of really basically, I love this hip hop thing. I'm going to try and do every element as much as possible. And I couldn't rap. I could not rap. I couldn't rap. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be the next Big Daddy Kane. Or the next Rakim. Like, but I couldn't rap. So I wasn't going to be. My tag game was nice, but I couldn't piece. Even though I got a couple of elders from back in the day to show me a couple of hands and all that, but nah. I was decent papa, shit breaker. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, I'm just gonna be a fan. You know what I mean? And then, you know, when I moved from Knox to London in 1990, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I, you know, kind of fell into it. This is the thing that, when you start to go to college, you meet other people that's into the music they're into, and then you go around each other's houses and you play music. They see a lot of records in my yard, and it just kind of falls into that. So then I started doing house parties with a sound system called Class Act, which was Daddy D back in the day, but he's called Silk, Mr. Silk now. Yeah. And James Yard, who's the producer, who actually taught me how to mix 2 records.
Oh wow!
And, so we did house parties for the first few years until DTI started coming to take people's sets and then records, and I was like, I'm out. I worked too hard for these records, but I'm not doing none of that. So a roundabout way, that's kind of how I got into the DJing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And how did we arrive at the name DJ Shortee Blitz? And was it the first name that you had?
It was probably Crazy Blitz before, or Chaos as well. So I used to type Chaos, K-A-O-S. But that never had no meaning. But the Shortee name was a family name. So my cousins used to call me that and all of that. So that was just my name. I was obviously very short than the rest of them. But yeah, that's how it came through. And then when I was at college, I didn't want to just be DJ Shortee, or I didn't want to be DJ anything. I just wanted it to be like a name which was a first name and a surname. So it was going to be Shortee something. And I don't know how I got to the Blitz, to be honest, but it was around the college era. So yeah, you know what I mean?
Man. So a lot of people's initial introduction to you, besides the house parties, was also like record shop as well, because you was infamous for working at a very notorious record shop.
Yeah, man. Well, my first record store I worked in was Release the Groove with Daddy Destiny, but they were like Release the Groove was the second introduction of Catch a Groove Records, which was in the West End, and it was a record shop that I always went to go buy Source magazines. I used to travel from Brixton to go West End to go buy Source magazine. Crazy. I used to go in there all the time, and Matt White was in there. Salute to Matt White, Destiny, and this girl called Tara, who were DJs, and I kept begging them for a job, and they're gonna work for you, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. I kept going there every weekend and then when that collapsed, the owners and new partners, they went and opened this other record shop. So knowing Destiny from the scene, like shout out to Daddy Destiny, man. He's been on the scene from day. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the people that helped build the scene. I feel like he knew everybody and he knew his music as well. As soon as they started to open another shop, he like, Shortee, I've got something you might like, man. We opened another shop doing a job. I was like, hell yeah, what do you mean? Because up to that point, I was working at radio rentals.
Oh wow.
Renting TVs and white goods. White goods is washing machines and tumble dryers and you know what I mean? And I hated that with the passion. The only good thing about that job was they had cable there. And which I couldn't afford cable back in the day. So your MTV Raps was getting taped every weekend. Do you know what I mean? So that was the thing that kept me in the job, because I hated like serving the public as a retail person. It was because people could just talk to you anyway. Yeah. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. But then I switched to another retail job, which was the record shop. And then after Release the Groove, it was Still Real. Like, they opened up Peebo the Pro from Handspun and MK, my dog. They joined forces with Tony Vegas and another guy called Gary as well, and they opened this record shop, which was for me, which was life changing, and a shop that dealt with just hip hop and breaks and all that. I was in heaven. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I worked there for a few years, and we worked until they closed down, and then obviously they were bought out by Vince and the other guys, which was The Real 2, which did other things, other great stuff in the scene. But yeah, I was part of the original The Real. Basically, roundabout. I'm answering these in full, right? It's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I mean, so obviously during this time, you managed to network and meet a lot of artists in the scene, and I guess the first time a lot of us heard of you on Wax was the EP, I'm a Done EP.
Probably, but before I'm a Done, I used to DJ for Scientists of Sound.
Okay.
Like they were a group from Northwest, and salute to them. They're my big bros from there as well, man. Shout out to Akil and the crew, AB, Bam, rest in peace, Sharok. Like that, one of the first tours I went on was, I think, 93, early 94. And it was the first time Wu-Tang came to the country.
Wow.
And we were the warm-up act for Wu-Tang. So that was the first time meeting Method Man, Jizza, RZA wasn't there, ODB wasn't there. I don't think they ever, the whole crew ever came at all, right? I don't think they ever made it. They came like 50 times, and I think, you know, there was always one person missing at least.
Yeah.
It was usually ODB, but rest in peace to him. And yeah, met Raekwon, Ghostface was there, Meth was there, Master Killer was there. And yeah, it was a great time. And it was good traveling up and down the country, seeing this for the first time, do you know what I mean? And it was good. So I did scratches on one of their EPs as well. So that was probably one of the first times. But my voice probably was on I'm a Don EP, and that was from Big Bro Ty.
Okay.
Who I met at college.
Oh, wow. Was it a case that you guys were in the same class or just a chance meeting?
No, it wasn't a chance meeting. It was a meeting because it was a weird meeting because I thought he was a student at the college, but he wasn't. I was in a class with his sister.
Okay.
That's how I met him because obviously at lunchtime you go into the canteen, everybody's there, just jokes, everybody playing blackjack and all that, and we stopped going to certain lessons because we wanted to play blackjack. Mm-hmm. There was a student that was rapping. He was really nice. He was really different. So I ended up banging on tables while he rapped, while we played blackjack and stuff like that, and that was fine. And I didn't know that. I didn't realize that a few years after we all finished college and all that, he didn't actually go to the college. He was just making sure that people didn't really. He just made sure that there was no boys trying to trouble his sister. That's you know, like you know, Ty, you know what he's like. If you're under his wing, he'll do whatever he can to help you out. Do you know what I mean? So even if it's detrimental to himself, he went to a totally different college.
Yeah.
I don't know how he couldn't have passed because he was always at our college. The security guys, they knew him. Like, yeah, come in. He would say that I forgot my pass, but they saw him so many times that obviously he had to go there. I didn't know until maybe 3 years after. You know what I mean? I was like, like, you know, what did you get at South London College, which was in Norwood, West Norwood? And he was like, I didn't go there. I went to South 10. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? But yeah, I want to make sure the man won't step into his sister, innit? So I was like, okay, it makes total sense. Because he's done that for me and my girlfriend at the time. Like, he set the big bouncers, like, tall dudes, because, you know, my missus felt disrespected. He's like, what happened? Oh, stay here. And he would go, and he made the bouncer come away from the door and made him apologize to my girlfriend.
Wow.
And he was a big dude. And I think that's just the kind of, you know, he's a people person, but he'll explain his grievances to you.
Wow.
In a way that you would understand. Not on a bad man thing. I mean, he could go there if he wanted to, but he'll kill you with sense and reason. You know what I mean? And you know, he'll look after his people. Like, you know that already. I know you can attest to that.
For real, 100%, man. And so how did that friendship obviously translate to getting in the studio and recording a project together?
I think basically it was, you know, he could see in me that how much I loved hip hop, and I think it was the same. It was like, you know, we flocked together in it. Like at that time, it wasn't all about hip hop. Really, it was other things. It was jungle. It was ragga. I'm saying ragga, so I'm talking 90s, yeah. So ragga. So it was all this other stuff which we loved as well, but hip hop was the thing that kind of connected us. You know what I mean? And if we go to a jam, whether it was Flavor of the Month or whatever jam it was, we'd be the first on the floor, and we'd be the last to leave. Yeah. So we just kind of got tight, and we lived in Brixton. So if there was times where we travel somewhere and we didn't have no money to get back, we walked back. Do you know what I mean? That happened many times. We walked back from King's Cross one time after our alcoholic show, and you know, we were just on this whole love of hip hop thing, and we were kind of alone in that in our circles. You know what I mean? Because everybody else loved everything else, but hip hop was the thing that kept us together. So when it was time for him to get serious about putting out music, he was like, you know, do you want to be my DJ? I was like, oh yeah, I'm with you all the time anyway. So, you know, and this thing, I'm learning to DJ, I'm learning to cut. And shout out to Patrick from one extra, Mr. Prestige, Sir Prestige. He's the one, the first DJ I saw with 2 turntables that could actually cut and scratch. He had the Gemini mixer and all that. This is when we was in college. He was amazing. We used to go to his house at lunchtime. I couldn't cut or scratch. I used to just watch him. And he was a bad man. His body tricks and all that. You know what I mean? And yeah, true inspiration. I've kind of been blessed. Like, judging that I didn't want to come to London in the first place because my mum got married and we left Nottingham. I left everything, like left the rest of the family, friends, schooling and all of that. And I didn't want to come here, but you know, I think I made the right decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you know, stuck with it, and I was able to build a career for myself.
Wow. And so what process did you go through to like perfect your art of scratching over the years? Was it just practice?
Practice. It's simple thing was just practice. You know, I'd go around to DJ Business's house. See, this is crazy. This is all through the connection to Ty. You know what I mean? Like, the first time I saw DJ Business was on video when I was in Knoxville when he was doing his DMC thing.
Yeah.
First time I saw MC Mello was in Hip Hop Connection. First time I saw Caveman was in Hip Hop Connection. Do you know what I mean? It was those kind of things. And I used to see Lords of Rap, Def G and the crew, who is now Solaheen. Basically seeing him on Dance Energy, shout out to Normski as well.
Yeah.
First seeing Dr. Psycho, but all these people, they knew Ty, and you know he had this thing. I don't know if he mentioned it to you. He had this thing called the B-Boy Network. Yeah. Where you know if there's in hip hop, if there's something that you're good at, there's definitely somebody we could put you with where you can go hone your skills. So yeah, Bills, if you could Shortee come to your house on Tuesday and just you know, let him soak in some stuff like it's good, but he's got potential. But you know, give him some pointers if you need to. And we used to do that with Pogo. We used to do that with Ted. Do you know what I mean? And this is all, these are all people that knew Ty long before I came around. And you know, him to do that again, like when somebody said to me, asked me the other day at the tribute was, what does Ty mean to you? It's basically, until he left us, I was always under his wing. You know what I mean? For the last 30 years, I've been under his wing. Whether we were talking or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was still family. You know what I mean? And that's the amazing thing, because over 80% of the people I know in this city was through my man. Yeah. So I can't even remember the question you asked me, but yeah, it just kind of, my mind just, I'm realizing things as I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's wild. It's wild to think.
Yeah, and that was definitely a question I had later on for you as well. But we can jump in now, man. I mean,
yeah, do you think?
I mean, let's discuss. You know, remembering Ty. You know, I mean, obviously it was a massive impact on your career personally as a DJ and as a friend. You know, and a massive loss for us all in this music business. You know, are there any poignant memories? Because obviously you use this tour DJ as well. So I mean, are there any poignant memories that you have of him over the years?
So many. Like we first went snowboarding for the first time together. We went to Val d'Isère. I think A-Side was there as well. We went there to perform. We've been at so many shows. We did Amsterdam, opening for Black Star, first time around. So we met quite. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to think. It was just before I started working for Raucous. So when the first Black Star album came out, met all those guys, Company Flow, etc., and we was opening for them, and we've done wild shows. Even in '95, I went on tour with MC Mello, another hero. You know what I mean? Who had not, you know, I didn't know my man like that. Yeah. But through the connection to Ty, I got to DJ for him, opening for Cypress Hill. Wow. On a European tour, like on a full European tour, and it was mind blowing. Yeah, that hip hop is ushering me all these kind of places where I probably couldn't get to myself, but through, you know, yeah, my guy will help you. You know what I mean? Like he's a good dude. Like give him a chance. You know, Pogo was his DJ, and Cutmaster Swift was his DJ. Like those are absolute worldwide legends.
Yeah.
And they're OGs to me personally. You know what I mean? But you know, they through the strength of TY, they opened their arms and they welcome me into the family, and I still fuck with them to this day. You understand? And it's mind-boggling, man, because they didn't need to, but because of on the strength of the love for Ty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got ushered into the family with no questions asked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that, man. I hear that. And another question I had for you actually also was because you've mentioned a lot of DJs so far in this interview. Are there any other particular DJs do you feel, important DJs to UK hip hop scene that you feel don't necessarily get their props or their flowers or not mentioned enough?
DJ Devastate, London Posse. Definitely, man. Like Devastate, crazy. Def K as well. When Devastate left, I don't know what the circumstances were, but the second coming of Demon Boys, obviously the Enforcers, Cutmaster Swift, world champion DMC DJ. You know what I mean? In the 80s, you know what I mean? Absolute bad man, one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. Pogo, same thing. Business, same thing. OGs. I'd say DJ Undercover, DJ Supreme, Hijack. Obviously as well, DJ Madder, DJ Renegade, Hard Noise, Son of Noise. Renegade used to work with Blade. Like these are all heroes, and they're all like they're game changers. Yeah. Not spoken about enough. Yeah. In my opinion, and I think that they needed to be, you know, held up. Don't wait for them to pass before you give them their flowers. These are bad man on the turntables. And you know, when people like Cuba and Mixmaster Mike come over, they're talking about them, man. When Rock Raider, rest in peace, was first came over, he wanted to know where Swift was at. He wanted to know where business was at, and Pogo. Yeah. Because you know what I mean? Like those are the people that they obviously saw in videos as well. At the same time, I saw them on video. And you know, there's so many. There's not even just DMC turntablist DJs. There's like DJ Swing. My OG, once again, rest in peace. Dr. Psycho, rest in peace. These are foundational DJs, and these are DJs that push the envelope and help the game move along. And they could do, you know you're a bad DJ, right? When you come into a dance, you start your set, and for the first 5 minutes, you're just talking to the crowd, and it's forwards. You know what I mean? They're not even playing low tunes yet. Do you know what I mean? The personality. Yeah. A lot of it's lost. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are just playing the same thing. But you've got to be able to stop, and people notice when it's your time to come on the set. That's what makes a DJ. Of course, Mr. Thing, one of the illest DJs ever. Not because he's my brethren, not because he's from here. He's one of the illest DJs ever. Do you know what I mean? There's so many, and there's going to be people pissed because I'm not going to mention everybody because you know they're going to get vexed. But there's so many DJs like Big Ted, aka just call me Teddy. My OG, Big Bro. Like the reason I'm on Kiss right now is because he put me forward because they asked him to do the mix. Because Pogo was always on tour. Yeah. So he was like, I can't do it because I'm on Choice. Yeah. Numbers will kill me. It's 279 as well, each and every time. But he's like, yo, try my little man right here. Give him a try. You know, if he's nice, you know, mess with it. Yeah. So that was in 1995, and I've been there ever since. Wow. So salute to Max and Dave. Yeah. Definitely OGs as well. OGs to the scene too, because they was doing it big in the early 80s. Max Alex in the Jerry Curl and Superman costume, cutting up shoes. You know what I mean? Listen, man, them man there, like, you know what I mean? Each of them. I've got nothing but flowers for these people because they helped change the game and they pushed it forward and they kept it afloat. You know what I mean? So salute, definitely.
Yeah, and that brings us on nicely to the next question, really, man. How was the transition for you from being like a club DJ to a radio DJ and being broadcasted literally all over the world?
Yeah, it was a learning curve. But again, like the thing that drives me was basically just a love of hip hop, man, and making sure that I represent the thing properly. Do you know what I mean? No games. I have fun with it, but there's no games when it comes to the music. Like for me, I obviously started doing it as a mix DJ for a couple of years. Didn't need to use the mic, but again, going back to Ty, it's full circle. Like when we did the shows in Amsterdam and stuff like that, he was like, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Shorts, he calls me shorts, right? Yo, shorts. Here's what we're gonna do." So, first verse of Ramadan, you're gonna rap it. I'm like, what do you mean? Why? It's your song, innit? I don't rap. He's like, no, you're gonna do it. Let these people get to know you. Do you know what I mean? And you know, as a DJ, I was always a head down kind of guy. Like, you know, quiet. I'm in the corner. I'm even to this day, I'm in the cut. I'm not really trying to be like, hey, I'm here. It's not about that for me. It's about the music always. But he was like, look, get them to know you. Like your career will last longer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I've traveled all over the world. I used to try and get a host to do the thing for me. But I can do it myself. I can talk to the crowd myself. I can get them to react to whatever I'm saying myself, and that was through Big Bro. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? He gave me so much. He gave me so much. He gave me so much.
That's amazing, man. So let's talk about the evolution of the DJ. I mean, obviously,
right.
so we've gone from vinyl to CD to Serato. For you personally, is this for better, for worse? How did the transition affect you?
The transition affected me pretty. Nah, you know, I was ready for it because I was planning on giving up if I had to carry CDs. It just didn't feel real. It just didn't feel proper to me. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, if they're not pressing vinyl no more, and it's just gonna be all CDs, well, boy, it's probably my time to bow out and do something else. Wow. I just wasn't in it. It wasn't in it. I love music, still, always will do, but me carrying around what's it called? A book of CDs, and it just didn't, nah. Yeah. And you know, the technology didn't catch up to that point, but obviously the first CDJ came out, and it was cool. It didn't move. It just didn't feel real. It didn't feel enjoyable to me. Yeah. I was still carrying records when I was DJing in Spain every Sunday in Magaluf. Some people call it Shagaloof, but that's nothing to do with me. But so every Sunday I'd carry record boxes, and the resident DJ, a guy called Paco, if I'm not mistaken, he had Final Scratch, and he was laughing at me. Yeah, you still carry records? Ah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But he'd say to me, "Oh, I've got like 30,000 records in here, and you just got those. Like, I might play everything you're playing just to mess you up." I was like, "Oh, why do we need to do all that? Why?" And then one time he played, and his computer crashed.
Wow.
His computer crashed hard. He couldn't DJ for the rest of the day. I was like, "What, do you want me to go back on with my records to play?" Like, and he's like, "Okay, if you don't mind, please." And I was like, "Cool. No more of that talk, no more." So carried on playing. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, I didn't want Final Scratch. But that was years before Serato came in. So I've been using Serato since late 04, 05. My first time I went to Vancouver, my boy Sean, Trini Sean, he was like, "Look, there's this thing I want you to come look at." And he took me to a record store, and he's saying, my boy A-Track, he helped develop this thing. And he's like, "Look, you love DJing, you want to spin with vinyl, this is the next thing. You need to get your computer, you need to get this thing and use it." I was like, "Yo, this looks like Final Scratch. I can't do that, man. Like, I've seen it crash like crazy. I can't have that happen." And he's like, "Don't worry." So we went to a club.
Yeah.
And I think A-Track was DJing, and he played, and I was like, if A-Track can do that, cool. Then I bought it, came back, didn't set it up for months because I was still, you know, in my ways, camera records, knowing it was there. Then I saw Jazzy Jeff in Ministry of Sound on a gig we was both on. I think it was me, Jeff, Mark Ronson, and Primo.
Wow.
And we was all on vinyl, but Jeff was on the Serato thing, killing it. And I was like, yeah, I've got that thing. Yeah. If he's doing that, I'm going to be fine. So learned how to use it. The first year of it though was nervous because setting up the box and all that, nobody knew the right way. So there was times where I'd go on and try to play something that's not working, and it's like I can't do this no more, man. This is horrible. But once I got the hang of how to set it up, it was the way forward.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I've earned it because I've carried record boxes around the world. Like the first time I went to Hong Kong, they wanted me to do a hip hop party and an open format party. So I had to carry 4 boxes.
Wow.
I get to the airport with my 4 boxes. They're talking they want £1,500 of baggage. I was like, ooh, hold on, what? So I called the promoter and I'm like, yo, they want 1,500. Like, you know, if it's a no, I'm going home because I'm not paying that. I don't even have that. But he's like, don't worry, we pay for it. It's all good. So I went there. No more of that though. I earned it. I earned the Serato. And I think, you know, as long as you've got the love for music, it's definitely a learning curve of how to use it because I was used to rifling through, looking at labels. Now you've got a list. Yeah. So you've got you kind of got to remember. There's times where you go blank during a set. There's many times I go blank during a set. I like to vibe it, but then, you know, I'll be like, what's the name of that tune again? So I'm standing there singing to myself, trying to remember the title. Because obviously I look at covers.
Yeah.
Even to this day, it's the way that it always stumps me because you're looking at a long list of how many tunes you got in your computer. Like, so I've got 30,000 tunes, blah, 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 blah. I'm never going to get through everything in here. I'm going to forget most of the things that's in here. So I try and go through and just try and pick something and see if I remember something that will jog the memory and will take me in a different direction. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, long story short, Serato, yeah, I fucked with the hard body. Real talk.
Well, definitely the way forward. Wow.
Yeah, for me. I mean, it's whatever any DJ feels comfortable doing, man. Like, I'm not one of those snub DJs that be like, oh, you've got to use vinyl or you have to use this or that. Use whatever works for you, man. This is whatever works, man. Trust me. I've seen people body a party with iPad.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I need more control, but if you've got balls to do that, go do your thing, man. I mean, as long as you're killing it.
Yeah, no, for real. And let's have a word on, obviously, over the years, you've managed to literally play around the world. Are there any particular countries that stand out for any particular reasons? And is there any countries that you still yet to play in?
I haven't been to Japan yet, and it's travesty. I've been to Australia, New Zealand like 20 times. Japan is the one that's escaping me. I really want to go to Japan. Just to soak in the atmosphere, even if I don't get to DJ, just to soak in the technology and that way of thinking. You know what I mean? What I've been to Kenya, I've been to Johannesburg, I've been to Australia, I've been to New York many times, been to Canada. There's a couple places I've probably forgotten about. I've been to Kuala Lumpur many times. I've been to Singapore. I've been to places in China. I like it all because it's all different. You know, the thing that keeps me moving as a DJ is having a different crowd each and every time and trying to win that crowd over. There's certain places that I'll go to, they don't even speak English. And there's certain places that they don't know who I am. Like, you know, it's cool. I'm not the name that everybody knows. It's cool. But by the time I finish my set, hopefully I've won you over and you've probably had one of the best nights ever. That's the aim. That's the assignment for me. That's what keeps me going, I think, as a DJ. You understand? So it's a thing of where I don't get bored DJing because I'm trying to win over a room of strangers and change the mood. Yeah. That's the mission. You know what I mean? And I'll always be on that mission. And when that feeling goes, that's when I stop DJing.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
even with the newer music as well, like, you know, a lot of people love the drill stuff and all that. You know, it's not my thing, but I know the kids, they're on it, and I'll play little bits here and there, but then I'll try and mix in my flavor too. So if you like this, I know you're gonna mess with this. You know what I mean? And there's so many artists out right now. Your man Archer got a nice tune as well with Chili Digital, who's my bro as well. The If You're a Boss on that, look at you. Like, I even told Archer last week, and I was like, bro, that tune there, the way you're sitting on the rhythm, it was tailor-made for whatever you were doing. It was proper. You made that yourself. You made that for you. Like, I just love new music. I love good music. And that's why I'll never get tired of it, because there's always options. And I think my thing is to balance what's going on out there, because I can't just play what's hot. Play what's coming next.
Yeah.
It's important for me. It's important.
Yeah. And that was one of the questions I had for you as well, actually. What is it about, what excites you about hip hop today?
Just finding the thing that gives you that feeling, that makes you ever want to scrunch up your face and like, ooh, do you know what I mean? It's something that changes the mood whenever it comes on. So like the new K9 stuff, like the K9 is amazing producer. Like, being at LMZ, but he's an amazing producer. Obviously, Twang's got more stuff coming as well. There's so many artists, you know. For us to just play whatever the pluggers are sending us is very, very lazy.
Yeah.
There's so much more music that these people don't use pluggers for, but they've got bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm here for all of that. And I think it's my job to highlight that and balance what I want. Because we can all play H. We can all do that.
Yeah.
We can all do that very easily and keep my job, but then you're not really doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not trying to help. You're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you're in the way.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's real talk, man. Cool.
I mean, you know, I'm just being honest. It's you know, there's a lot of people that's coasting, and you know, there's a lot of people that send me music. I'll play the music if I like it. I won't even hit them up and be like, yo, I played the tune, you know? Like, no. Like, if you didn't listen to it, if you didn't listen to the show and you missed it, then that's cool, but I still played the joint. And I'll still tell people what I want. It's not a minute thing. It's not a minute thing. It's not a friendship thing. It's a music thing. Do you know what I mean? Bring me the music. That's all I want. I want new music. I want stuff that's gonna make me feel something. I'm trying to chase the feeling of when I first heard hip hop. So I'm trying to fight for that. And I want everybody to have that.
Wicked.
You know what I mean?
Wicked. Another transition for you in recent years is we now see you on ITV2 regularly on Don't Hate the Player. So how did that next transition come along for you?
I don't know. I think the reputation I worked on kind of helped, and me being on radio all these years and pushing the style of hip hop that I do, because I kind of try and, like, with Ted and now with MK, I kind of try and do a snapshot of what's going on, but the whole thing as much as possible. So, you know, you would get some drill, you get some grime, you get some boom bap, you get some soulful, you get some gully, you get some ignorant, because it's a snapshot of the whole thing. It's not, you know, I prefer one style over the other, but it's my job to show what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I've been there so long.
Yeah.
So when I met Jolyon, who I was a fan of, I didn't know he was a hip hop fan, because he used to do this show called The Revolution Will Be Televised. Right? Yeah. And I met him at a wedding reception. I was DJing at a wedding reception for Dr. Laub. Shout out to Dr. Laub and his wife. And he came up to me and was like, bro, I'm such a big fan. I was like, bro, I'm a fan of your thing, man. Like, you know, the Revolution, blah, blah, blah. We was talking for a minute. He's like, yo, I've got something that you might be interested in.
Yeah. So
we exchanged numbers and all that stuff, and went about our business. A couple of years, like, whatever. I never saw him again until then. And he called me out of the blue. He was like, yeah, remember I told you I got something that you might like. I've had this idea for this show.
Yeah.
And it's a hip hop TV panel show, and you know, we're looking for a host, but I want you to be the DJ. And I was like, what in what capacity? Like, you know, just be like hold down the musical section. You know, like Kid Capri in Def Comedy Jam. That's all he had to say. I was sold from them because Kid Capri, one of my favorite DJs ever, mixtape DJ. But what he did on Def Comedy Jam, being such a pivotal part, bringing on the guests and all that, like being on point with the music and having that authenticity, being one of the DJs from the scene that's highly respected, that earned the respect. Do you know what I mean? All he had to say was, he said to me, like Kid Capri and Def Comedy, I was told from the year, just sign me up, let me know what I want.
Yeah.
So we did the rehearsals and all that stuff, and we've had 3 seasons so far. So, you know, who knows, 4th season might be coming soon.
Oh, wow.
Might be.
Oh, might be. Give us some insider info right there.
I said might be. I'm not confirming or denying nothing. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's an honor to be part of that show. The panel, because obviously it's different eras. So I'm more old school. I'm probably the oldest dude on there, but I don't listen. It's like, you know, we had Sugar Hill Gang, we had Melly Mel on the show, and it was great for them to see that, because people know the Apache joint and all that, and there are two groups that formed together to go on tour.
Yeah,
and they both had hits from nearly 50 years ago.
Yeah,
it was wonderful, because when I first fell in love with it, it was those guys I saw.
Yeah,
and I had, you know, when they were sitting on the panel, I had to just stop everything for a second and be like, look, I need you guys to understand, who's watching, who's hearing my voice, that, you know, the MCs that you love, the MCs that you think are the best ever, they're standing on the shoulders of these dudes. You know what I mean? Because these people, they came up in the Bronx in the 70s and 80s and all that, and it was a thing of, they went through so much madness to bring us the music. They got jerked by the records. I didn't know if they even made money back then, but those records sold millions of copies. Yeah. It wasn't like not Rappers Delight. The Message was in the top 10 on top of the Pops. So I remember seeing that as a kid and thinking, wow, this is going well. Wow, they must be making money. Yeah. But you know, these shiesty contracts. Yeah. Allegedly, they go and you know, they crawled so we could fly. Yeah. Yeah. Understand? And I had to acknowledge that, because I'm not saying that Jordan and Maya and Leisha and them lot didn't understand who he was, but it wasn't even just them I was talking to. I was talking to the audience. Yeah. That was listening, and I think that's my job to salute. Yeah, the people that came before me. Yeah, that enabled me to be able to fly around the world and feed my family from doing this. Yeah, this is what they helped us with. You understand? And they probably don't get the thanks that they should get. Cool Herc shouldn't be broke. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, should not be broke. Yeah, they should be owning a piece of all of this. Yeah. Yeah, and for me, that's, you know, that's the most disheartening thing as well, you know, because you think to yourself, They probably got their stuff on Spotify, endless compilations. You know, are they seeing any royalties from any of that? You know, they're probably not. They're probably only seeing show money when they get to do shows, and, like, you know, good thing that some of them are touring. You know what I mean? But the ones that aren't touring, I wonder how they're looking after, like, you know, Grandmaster Caz, like, he does tours in New York and all that stuff. And when tourists come over, he'll show the birthplace of the thing we know now as hip hop, and you can see that and all that kind of stuff. And he's probably eating off that, okay. Yeah. But none of these guys should be struggling. Do you know what I mean? Shah Rukh shouldn't be struggling, shouldn't be working regular jobs. These people, they put on for this culture that we love, you understand? And I think they deserve more, but how's it going to happen? Yeah, it always feels like they need to set something up, like, where they get a little percentage of from everybody, all the hip hop artists that are out, all the mainstream artists, millions, even billions. That should be it. But, you know, and the thing is, those SKANDOUZ, you know, this culture was ours, right? But I don't think that none of us control it anymore. None of us own this anymore. It's owned by corporations that more than likely don't love what we do and don't love us. Yeah. But this was a voice for us. You understand? It was a voice for the voiceless. Yeah. This is the thing that we all kind of latched onto because they were talking our language. It was going through the same, and a lot were going through a lot worse. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they was able to express it and connect worldwide. Yeah. Before like social media, like worldwide for music. Yeah. You understand? So it's wild. It's wild.
It's wild, man. So we're on the verge of your official debut project. It's on its way. No, it's exciting times, man. What made you wait so long to officially throw your hat in the arena?
To be honest, there was a few setbacks. There was a very few setbacks, and things where you know, you throw your toys out the pram, like thinking, why am I doing this? People were jerking you about, people not turning up to studio sessions, and you know, I'm trying to do this thing. When I started doing this thing officially, I had equipment from like '96. I had my first MPC, so I was always tinkering about making beats. Didn't think I was gonna release anything, just doing it because I love production. You know, and then started working with Ty and Solaheen, seeing how they did their thing, and it's amazing to me. I was thinking I'm never gonna be that good, like, but let me just think around, do what I'm doing in the first place anyway. But when I made the decision to actually put out music myself and work on a project, it was probably 2010.
Okay.
2009, maybe. And I was like, look, whatever's going on music-wise is cool, but again, I was looking for a certain, do you know what I mean? Something that made me feel that way. And instead of me complaining about it and being like, oh, this new stuff is rubbish, and acting like the old man that you know, that doesn't understand what I want, I thought, let me just try and be the difference, innit? Let me try and see if this thing can work.
Yeah.
So, you know, had a few sessions in 2010, got jerked around a couple of times as well, and that kind of made me just like, you know what? I don't need to do this. I want to do this, but if these people are gonna just mess me about like this, I'm just gonna carry on and go back to my DJing thing and carry on because that's what I do. That's my day job. Yeah. Right. And after a while, after a few years, I'm still, you know, on my laptop that I carry around all the time. I still, you know, sketch out ideas, and I'll find a break I want to flip, and I'll do that just for fun. You know what I mean? I was, oh, this is sounding all right. But then after a few years, it took like 5 years before I kind of got back into it because I was salty about a certain person that jerked me, and you know, it was a thing of I had to get over it. So I started doing this project. It started out as an album at first, and I'm thinking, why am I making an album? Because nobody doesn't know me as a producer. So just maybe do EP. So it made it a bit more palatable for me to do as well. So I don't have to do like 12 songs. Let me just do 4 joints, see how it goes. Yeah. So a couple of sessions again. Linked up with Ty after a while because we were cool, always cool, but it just, you know, weren't as close as we should have been. Right. So I linked up with him, played him some stuff. Because when I started the thing in 2010, I was like, look, a couple of our people passed away, right? And I wanted them to do a tribute to the people. And obviously, when I quit stuff, it just never happened. So when we linked up again, I was like, look, I still want you to do this thing. And he's saying, so we played a couple beats to each other. Whatever misconceptions we had with each other, it took an hour to. No, that wasn't that. That was because of no. I was thinking you were over there doing that. No. It was after an hour. So for the next 8 hours afterwards, we were just Ty and Shortee again, like regular, like it never like we never been apart. We used to see each other all the time, hugging each other, mum cool, yeah, cool, and then we split. It wasn't like we was around each other all the time like that.
Yeah.
But after playing in the stuff, he was like, okay, I'm gonna go right to this, and that was the last time I saw him. So, you know, the thing that makes me very angry with myself, I can't be angry at the person that jerked me, is that I let them stop the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I let them stop the production. So how am I going to put my debut, how am I going to put my debut EP out and not have time?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to do that. And that breaks my heart, to be honest. But it's life. I know he's proud. He loved the joint.
Yeah.
That I played to him. He played me some stuff that he was working on as well. I was doing the scratches for it while he was writing for my stuff.
Yeah.
It will never come to fruition, unfortunately. But we were back like that again, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was great.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So tell us about, because I know there's some singles and there's some videos that's dropped. I mean, tell us about the name of the project, some of the guests that you got involved.
So the splashing water everywhere. So the name of the EP is First Step.
Yeah.
The full title is Every Journey Starts with the First Step. But that's too much to put on a thing, so first step. Do you know what I mean? And first single, which was released in March, was called Still Sharp and Still. And with a couple of my favorite MCs from these shores, Sus Bullies or Bad Man with the Bars, and my Stiggy is my brother, for real. Like, you know, why not have these two? Because I stand behind everything that they do, because they're very dope at what they do and they're very honest with what they do.
Yeah.
There's no bells and whistles. It's just straight bars with so much style and finesse.
Yeah.
And the bar work is insane for both of them. And they've never been on the tune together before. That's the thing that I wanted to do when I started doing this thing, was to match up skill sets, to match up styles. It can work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we did that joint and it came out great. We've got a remix coming as well, but I can't tell you who's on the remix.
Yeah.
I can't SKANDOUZ. I should have said that. That's a bit bad mind. It's a bit bad mind, but we've got a remix coming soon. But so the first single was Still Sharp and Still.
Yeah.
No nonsense, banger, like hard beats, hard runs. That's all I want. Scratches in the chorus.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of that at the time when we first constructed it. So, you know, that's the thing where, you know, I wanted to put some of that in there as well, because I love hearing scratch choruses.
Yeah.
Like Primo, Pete Rock, all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the school I'm from. I'm not trying to emulate what they do. I'm just trying to express myself in a way that I feel that's fit. Second single, featuring Wavy Boy Smith, which came out in April. Which came out, April 4th, I think. I'm not sure how I'm remember this. Called Excellence, featuring Wavy Boy Smith, who's formerly known as Big from Alliance, the Cypher. Like, ill dude. Like, if you ever work with him in the studio, he writes so quickly. Like, we did a mixtape, right? We did a mixtape like maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
He hit me up. He's like, "Shorty, I want to do a mixtape."
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool. Let me know what I'm writing." He goes, "But the thing is, I want it done within a week." I was like, "What? Man, that rhymes ready?" He goes, "No. What I'm gonna do? We're gonna work out these beats. I want 10 beats, like, because it was a Bad Boy mixtape. So I'm throwing in the Bad Boy tunes that maybe you want to rhyme on." So we went through that 5 to 10 joints.
Yeah.
And he's like, so we parted ways. I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, every hour he's hitting me with a fresh verse on everything. Like,
Wow.
He wrote it. And the only thing that took long was me getting the time to mix the two. So we looked at with Turkish Cypher, so Turkish each and every time. And I think we got that done. The whole mixtape was done maybe, I'm not sure, maybe 4 days?
Wow.
If that. But I think it took, the rest of the time was actually waiting for the artwork and then waiting for me to mix it, and then Turkish to mix the actual whole thing. And like, it wasn't like he was ABC rhyming. He doesn't do that. He likes to rhyme that opulent, you know what I mean, flashy, fat guy thing, you know what I mean? He's a beast at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted him on the project. Asked him once, he was like, yeah, say nothing, send the rhythm.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So I thought him and my brethren from Toronto, JD Era, who I met like 15 years ago, he came on the radio show and spit bars, like, didn't learn from Adam, but the guy he was with, I was cool with it. He's like, yo, this guy's nice. Like, let him spit. I was like, yeah, let's go. And he remembered that. So when I asked him, he was like, say nothing, send the rhythm.
Yeah.
So that's where excellence come from. And they're both excellent in what they do. The styles are different, but I think it works really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Scratch chorus again, like, you know, sexy, like, chop. You know what I mean? It's yeah, it works, man. And the joint is dropping on Friday though.
Yeah.
This is one of the first joints that I worked on back then, but we finally got it finished and I replaced it because that was the song that made me stop everything. I was like, the person I was waiting for to come and do this thing jerked me around. And I was so vexed. I was in my feelings. Like, it's like, look, it's straight a play thing. I'm trying to do something where we show that there's a balance here. It doesn't have to be all that kind of style. We can do what we do, and it can be dope. So after I wiped my tears and got back to it, so we got this tune called Beast, which is dropping on Friday, featuring the legendary Black Twang.
Yes.
One of the country's best, for one of Europe's best. Like, I'll put him up against a lot of people. Like, his bar work, I don't think he gets spoken about for his bar work.
Yeah.
Like, you have to really go check how he's rhyming, the style and the flows, and you know what I mean. He's another dude that loves the new stuff as well. But you put him on the new rhythm, he's gonna do some different thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So salute Tony Rotten as well. Shout out to Rotten Astra and the whole crew. K9 also as well. He's gonna be on the next EP. Also on that joint, because there's a snippet that's a minute, which is just Tony Rotten's verse. Yeah. But who else is on that joint is Corey Guns from the Bronx, who I think is the LMC who doesn't get his flowers. Like, he was part of Young Money. Yeah. I don't think that situation is happening anymore, but you know, I think he was a wasted. I'm sure he did a lot of writing for a lot of people. I'm sure he made a lot of money. Yeah. But as an artist, I think he needs to have more light on him, and I think he's dope. Yeah. He's dope. He just needs a chance. He's more than just Peter Gunn's son. I mean, he's the LMC. Yeah. And then from Michigan, we've got John Connor.
Nice.
LMC, like LMC. The thing about John Connor, right? When he rhymes, he doesn't do any ad-libs. There's no ad-libs, there's no chops. He'll just rhyme and stop. That's it. There's no whoop or her or yeah. There's none of that. But the verse will capture your attention and keep you until he stops rhyming. Right? And then the final MC on that tune is Joel Ortiz. Ooh. I don't need to say nothing else about Joel Ortiz, do I? I don't need to. You already know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So wow. Yeah. So that was a tune where nothing pretty, no bells and whistles, hard beats, again hard rhyming, like but top tier rhyming. You understand? So
and then
this is kind of thing that excites me.
Did you manage to get them all in the video?
No, that's crazy. No. That's why it's going to be animation, because you know everybody's busy, everybody's in different cities in the US, and here it's you know, I don't have budget to do all that. I can't fly around at the moment. Pandemic took shit on me, so I've got to try and finesse it the way I can. So it's going to be animation. Yeah. So shout out to Art Jazz who did the teaser video. That'll be coming soon, the full thing. But it looks sinister, innit? It looks crazy. Because again, nothing pretty. It's no flashiness. Just it's about the art. You know what I mean? Getting it in. Wow. Final joint on the EP. Final joint on the EP is called Truth. Featuring he's a newcomer to some, but I think he's a dope MC. His name is Real Young. He's a school teacher, but He can rhyme really well, and he's honest with his thing. That's what I look for as well. I don't mind people being how do you say it, where they deal in fantasy as well, but you know, you've got to be honest at some point, and that's what I look for. Same thing with Ty, same thing with Twang. They'll talk about what's going on, what's actually going on around them, and being older guys. Yeah, like, you know, we're not in these clubs throwing up bottles and doing all that. Some are, but for gentlemen of a certain age, it's important to be honest. Wow. You know what I mean? And that's why I made this tune called Truth. So with him, he's talking about his constant day to day. Terry Walker, the Queen, on the chorus, like came from blessed thing, lovely, blessed it, and then the final MC who he was worth the wait for me, because I've been a fan from time, is Odyssey. Oh wow! From the Diamond. Yeah, listen, man, these guys. Yeah. I'm very happy. As you can see, I'm just skinning deep. It's one of those things where I wanted to put something down where I can be proud of, where I don't have to explain away. Oh yeah, I did this because no, I'm proud of what I'm putting out. I wanted to express it the way that I wanted to do it. It's not for the club. It's not for radio. It's for people who love hip hop. It's for hip hop connoisseurs.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? That's what it's for. And people who love music in general. Yeah. And you know, it's not no shooting and stabbing. It's not about none of that. It's about bar work, and it's about real life experiences. And that's for the whole EP. Right. You know I mean? So
right. So you wasn't tempted to jump on the mic just for that old time's sake?
You heard me when I said earlier on that I don't rhyme, right? I've got no business rhyming, bro. It's not for me. Not for me. But, I'd love to, but I don't have. Was it what does my man say? You don't have the no, I can't remember what he says, but I don't have the stats for that now.
I'm gonna get
I'd love to
get Twang to ghostwrite a verse for you and just, you know. Maybe later down the line, I don't know. But yeah, it's you know, I'm really on these beats right now, and you know, never say never. Never say never, but yeah, I've got nothing. And but it's something that I love doing. I just love the whole culture, everything. Wicked.
You know what I mean?
Wicked. So this is the first of a series of EPs, hopefully, and
first of many, definitely. I'm already halfway through EP2.
Oh, wicked.
So, yeah, man.
Nice.
I've been had these 2 joints almost ready, and I've just got another 2 just to, as well as the remix and thing. And there's gonna be a remix of Beast as well. So you know, we'll see what happens, isn't it?
Wicked.
But, yeah, I'm always gonna be working on music now, and I think it's a thing where I want to express. Obviously, I love my DJing thing, but I just want to express through music as well. And plus, you know, I want my place in history.
Yeah.
Why not? I've been there for a long time. So after I leave, like seeing how Ty left us, right? He left us with an abundance of a musical legacy, right? And you know, that can never be erased. You know what I mean? Like if he was just an MC at open mics, you know, that footage could get lost and all that. But the music, the albums, the EPs that he left, the legacy is intact. You know what I mean? And I kind of want something like that where, you know, I came here and I respected the thing and I loved the thing and I tried to nurture the thing and I tried to help people come into the thing if you enjoy it. And you know what I mean? It's for all of us, but you've got to treat it with respect. That's what we did. Do you know what I mean? And I want people to really love it the same way that I love it. It's impossible because nobody can love it like I do, but you know what I mean? It's a thing of that's my job, man. I just wanna represent the thing properly, bro. You know what I mean? And as you do too. This is the reason why I'm talking to you, because I know that's what you do. You know what I mean? And you and your team, you know what I mean? Ultimate respect.
Of course, man. So is that what we officially say is the Shortee Blitz legacy? Really, just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's part of it. Like, I always want to, leave this earth as being one of the people that never messed anybody about, never effed anybody over. Just loved hip hop and everything around it. And I just want to make sure that my musical legacy is intact. So, from here on in, there's no stopping this. For me as well, I'm not the most confident. I say it now, I've never ever been one of the most confident, but I love what I do and I try and be the best at what I do. So no one can ever say that he's only on because of this, or he's only on because of this guy that helped him out. I want to hold my own, and no more procrastination. Like, I've been sitting on music for a long time. And it's time to, Jesse Jeff, one of my heroes, like one of the reasons why I started DJing in the first place, I wanted to be a DJ. Jesse Jeff, Cash Money, both of those equally, 50% each. And obviously the OGs from the scene, but I didn't think I could do what they could do.
Yeah.
But what Jeff used to say was, don't die with all this music on your laptop or on your hard drive.
Yeah.
That no one's gonna hear.
Yeah.
Like, put the music out. It's never gonna be perfect in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could tweak this and do this and all that ad libs sticking out and all that. Nah, it's like getting the music out. There is nothing's ever going to be perfect, and people hear things differently to you who makes it. So, and I can attest to that, because there was a lot of times where I was just unsure. The first tune, one of the tunes on the second EP, one of the legendary artists, when I sent the beat, I emailed them and I was like, look, it's not mixed yet, it's not this, not. He's like, yo, the beat's fire, I'm on it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's about how the music translates to you. Sometimes you might get it, sometimes you don't. It's probably not for that person. Look, if you watch many artist interviews where they said they've turned down this beat that became this monster hit, and this, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not for you. So I don't get downhearted when somebody doesn't like a beat. I'll keep pushing. Okay, if you don't like this, what about this one?
Yeah.
And you send you a couple beats so you can see how you feel.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, because when I first started, I was like disheartened. I was disheartened. Somebody said, it's not for me. No, I don't really like that kind of beat. And then that was probably all I had at the time. So I was banking on, getting that true. But yeah, just no more procrastination. Just get busy in it, get it done. And I'm talking to myself. I'm not saying to anybody else. I'm talking to myself, because it's the expression. It's the expression, bro.
Real talk, man, and that's a beautiful way to wrap it, man. So we got the big release. It's coming at the end of the month. Obviously the people need to get excited and support it. Are you releasing this yourself? Is this have you got your own?
Well, it's a label out of Australia called Low Key Sauce. Shout out to Sam and the crew. They're putting out that they felt what I was doing. I wasn't really sure they was gonna, because obviously, again, in the era that we're in, people are looking for those TikTok hits and all that kind of stuff. This is not that. It's not any of that, and that's cool. Yeah. But I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way, that wants something a little different from what that is. So I think that's where I'm trying to put things out. And yeah, Low Key Sauce, they're trusting, man. I hope it works for them, man. I hope they make some money back. But if it don't, it don't. But me being an artist and a producer, it's not always thinking about the money. I should do, but I'm thinking about hip hop culture first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, that's beautiful, man. Boy, so we're looking forward to this release, man. And Shortee, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to bless us, And
it's been a long time coming, bro. Like you've been chasing me for a while, isn't it?
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad, the stars aligned the way it's supposed to be. Jay Electronica always famously said, you know what, my train's always on schedule, regardless of schedule.
Yeah, for real. But that's the thing. It's like, I'd rather, do an interview and talk to people when I've got something to come out as well, because then I'm just talking, innit? I'm just chatting. and you know, it's not really about that. I just want to be able to show that I've got stuff coming as well. I'm working on more stuff, but you know, this EP will be the first of many, man, and that's my promise to myself, because I want to express. You know what I mean? I love it.
Man, and I mean, you got so much, obviously, wisdom, years of actual first-hand wisdom to share, man. Would you ever consider, you know, I guess putting it down in a book at some point?
I've been hounded a few times. My wife has told me a few times, you should write a book. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I used to do columns in a couple magazines and stuff like that, and the actual physical, you know, medium of me writing is, it's not really. I do like to write, but it's a lot. Yeah. It's very time consuming because I want to make sure all my ducks are in a row when I write. So me doing a book, it's gonna take mad long. But then somebody says, "Oh, you can just talk it," and then somebody will take down the details, and then you just edit it as you go along.
Yeah.
So maybe, because I've seen a lot, and I've probably forgotten a lot that I've seen, but you know, it's a thing of I should really stop messing about and do it, because I've seen a lot. I've done a lot, and I've witnessed and been part of a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, because you're a tastemaker for a generation, so it's almost essential, even, you know.
I appreciate that, man. I don't see myself as that, but you know, again, the mission is to be a little different from what everybody else is doing. And you know, probably all the hip hop shows, and that's no shade, they're probably playing a lot of the same stuff, right? I don't listen because I don't respect them, but I'm trying to do things my way and not be colored by anybody else's. And I think that's the reason why there's so many hip hop shows, because certain people will like a certain style, or certain people like, but I'm trying to do my thing my way, and you know,
that's the way to do it, man. So officially, Shortee, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Head2Head series. You know, we want to wish you the best going forward, and look forward to hearing the EP when it officially lands, you know. And yes, and obviously, thank you for your continued service to the game, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it, man. But before I go, so First Step EP drops June 10th. Single Beast drops this Friday, 20th of May. So on my Instagram, on my Twitter, you can get the pre-save links and all that. So, you know, if you love that kind of hip hop, there's something new for you.
100%, man. Man, thank you.
SKANDOUZ, much love, bro. Thank you.
Love. Greatness in effect. Watch me bubble. Something to fly. Marvelously magnificent. Excellent. Greatness in effect.